Yesterday I was thinking to myself, what was my best FTP over the 10 years that I was racing? Now, for those of you that don't know, I was racing for 10 years, started back in 2007 and decided to retire in 2016, end of 2016. So I used many different power meters over the years, and everyone gave me slightly different readings, so I can't know for sure what my best is, but I think it's good to take about an average across all the significant readings that I got. So there are 4 readings over the years that I remember specifically that gave me some good insights to what my best FTP was. So I remember back in 2009 I did my first FTP test. I didn't have a power meter on my bike at the time. Did it at Carol Austin's place. She's the coach for Team Dimension Data. Back then it was MTN, and they were looking for new riders to sign in 2010, the following year. So that year I did 2 times 8 minute protocol. So you just do 2 8-minute efforts as hard as you can, recover 10 minutes between the 2 efforts, and then they take the average of that, multiply it by 0.9. So back then my results was 350 watts at 69 kilos. So that's 5.07 watts per kilo. And then I remember in 2011 I had a different power meter. I was using the power tap at the time. Now I did a 20-minute test and I got 407 watts and I was weighing 66 kilos. So if you multiply that by 0.95, that corresponds to a 1 hour wattage of 386 watts. And this is the highest readings that I got from any power meter that I used. So at that time it was 5.85 watts per kilo. And that's when I just went vegan back in 2011. I think that was about 5 months after I went vegan. And then I also remember in 2014, and for this one I actually have data, so I'll display that on the screen. I put it on Strava back then. So it was 367 watts at 68 kilos, which is 5.4 watts per kilo, and I was using a Quark at that time. And it wasn't the same Quark as I used in 2016. So the best power output that I got in 2016, and this was an actual full hour test, I got 353 watts at 67 kilos, which is 5.27 watts per kilo. So that's quite an interesting insight there over the years of racing that I did, what my best power numbers were for the hour. And I know for some people their 20-minute power doesn't quite correspond to their 1 hour power if they multiply it by 0.95, but I know for me it does, because my fatigue resistance is quite high, so the power doesn't drop much from 20 minutes all the way through to an hour. So what I've worked out is that the average power then would be 5.4 watts per kilo, which sounds about right, and that almost puts me in the world-class range for FTP. So yeah, it's just some interesting insights there over the years, what my numbers were. What do you guys think?